Dragonfolk, today we are going to be talking about something that a lot of people tend to gloss over. But is there really a market for art cards? Welcome on in, Dragonfolk. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am. It is currently Tuesday, I think. Pretty sure I upload this on Tuesday. And we're only a couple days away from Thanksgiving. So I just wanted to, before I make a official Thanksgiving video, thank you all for continuing to support the channel. We have passed 800 subscribers and are climbing our ranks up to 900. But I have a feeling that we will be making it to 1,000 before the end of the year. So if you want to make that happen, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now and like the video while you're doing that. But today, we are going to be talking about art cards. More specifically, they're called the Art Series cards, if you were to find them on TCGPlayer. Now, I'll throw some up on the screen as we talk about them here, but really, I wanted to talk about what these art cards are, how you find them, and what are they really worth, maybe even things you could do with them. So let's talk about that. These art cards only come in set boosters. Set boosters is where they come in. They were first originally debuted in Modern Horizons, the original Modern Horizons. And there was no set box or whatever. It strictly came in just the one box, and you had a chance to get them. But then when Zendikar Rising came out, pretty much the first set to introduce set boosters, you were able to get art cards in those packs. Now, they don't come in draft packs, they don't come in collector's packs, they don't come in jumpstart packs. They only come in set packs, right? Set packs are the only things that you're going to be finding these in. And you have a pretty much 5% chance that one of these art cards is going to have a gold stamp on it. Now, the gold stamp could just be the Magic the Gathering Planeswalker symbol that is just stamped onto the card. That very well could be because maybe the artist is no longer with the company, or I'm not sure why they actually just choose the regular gold stamp. It doesn't make any sense to me. But some of them have a gold signature on them. Now, a lot of people got into Magic the Gathering because of the art, right? The art is something that has brought together a lot of people, and it had a lot of people start to play the game, right? Learn their own things, take their favorite arts from cards, and use them in their casual decks or even some competitive decks. This also, I would imagine, led about the creation of the secret lairs. Secret lairs are the same functional cards that exist in the game currently, but they have new art. And the art is pretty much the big push there. They have a lot of artists' series where certain artists will redo a few cards that they have not previously done art for. So it is a very interesting thing to know how popular the art of Magic is. I think that's pretty evident to a lot of people looking at Magic the Gathering and knowing that the art is something that truly is outstanding when it comes to quite a decent amount of the cards. And even a lot of the new stuff looks really, really good. I mean, you look at things like the Ukiyo lands from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. You even have the new mech lands that just came out in the Brothers War. You have the showcase arts that came in Dominaria United with the stained glass treatments. There's plenty of different arts and now variants available for tons of cards. But what are these art cards and why do they differ from everything else? Well, the art cards, all they are, is just the art with a stamp on it if you get a stamped one. And the back of them will tell you what the artist series is from. So, for instance, this is the card Unblinking Observer. You have the artist's name next to it, Philip Berberin. And you also have a little number down there that says what the number out of 81 is. 81 is the amount of cards that get put into the artist series. So they'll choose 81 cards from a set, and they will give it a special art card. It also tells you what set it's from. For instance, this is from Innistrad Midnight Hunt, the art series. And that is how we determine what this is from. Now, just for those of you who do not know and are not realizing when you're looking at something like this card cannot be played. This is not a playable card. This is a piece of art. That is all that is. There is a blank space there for if you ever are to meet the artist, you can have the artist sign these backs of these cards, which would be kind of cool. That's almost better than the gold stamp signature that they throw on these things. But again, these are all not playable. They're collectible pieces. And there's quite a few things you can do with them, right? You can collect them, whether that be the non-stamped art or the stamped ones. You can make collages out of them. You can use them as proxies. As a matter of fact, a lot of these art cards are actually the land arts from the basic lands that come in their respective sets. For instance, the Zendikar Rising lands that come in full art are actually not truly full art until you get the art card for them, as to which it will completely erase the border, right? It's not a playable card, but you finally get to see the entire picture without the border, without the text box or anything of the full art land. So that is really, really cool. And a lot of people are actually utilizing those as their basic lands in their casual groups. Obviously, that is not a thing you can legally do in sanctioned tournaments. But casually, that's not a bad call. I think just about everybody would know. And if they don't, you can always flip over the card and it'll say planes. So you at least know that. But a lot of people also will make collages, right? They make little. What I plan to do with mine, if I ever collect like an entire set, is I want to make like a picture frame with all of them. Maybe do like a Wooburg kind of inspired circle, if I could, some kind of like almost circular shape with all the cards. I think it would be very, very fun. There's tons of things you can do, but more importantly, you should check to see if those cards are worth something. More specifically, the gold stamped versions. I wouldn't worry so much about the unstamped versions. Those ones are very, very, very common. There's about a 5% chance that you pull a gold stamped card. So some boxes you may never see one. Some boxes you may only see one. Some boxes you may see two, right? It all just depends. But at the end of the day, your chances are the same. But these are not absolute great things to pick up. I would pick these up if you love the art of Magic the Gathering. But more importantly, there are certain sets that you should look for in regards to collecting their sets. For instance, the Zendikar Rising one, the very first one. A lot of people really love the art for the lands in there. Because of that, the full art land art cards with their signatures go for a lot of money. I shouldn't say a lot because it's not really. It's like $6 or something. But for those opening set booster packs and not getting anything anymore, now you can look at that and go, oh, hey, that's a $6 card. I can at least take that. A lot of the art cards that are going to be going for a lot are either art that is really well known, more specifically by certain artists, such as Sorin the Mirthless, being painted in the same image as Alucard from Castlevania, from the artist of Castlevania. So very, very cool. You also have iconic characters that might be going for a lot, such as Drizzt Do'Urden from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Any of the dragons as well from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms are also great pickups, just simply because they have such a terrifying nature and they do show off a lot of their borderless art. So all of these things, they have their own special thing. Another thing about the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms stuff is that some of their art cards are actually creature cards. So you can flip them over and they'll actually show you creature stats based on the creature that the art card is about. So I think that was a real neat thing that they did for the Dungeons & Dragons sets. I don't know whether or not they're going to keep doing that if they do ever make another Dungeons & Dragons set. But if they do, that was a really cool thing. I really like that a lot. Of course, this is a slew of different things, but a lot of them do cost quite a bit to get the collection going. I say that's a lot because I, don't have a lot of money, but the entirety of the Zendikar Rising art series in gold stamped is well over $100. You're looking at almost like $170, I think, last time I checked. So $170 for a bunch of cards that you can't even use, but they are essentially artist proofs. And now that Zendikar Rising has been out of print for a long while, we're not seeing many of those enter the market anymore. So I think a lot of people are trying to pick up their collections where they can. Am I saying this is a great thing to invest into? Absolutely not. There, there are better things. But if you truly are a enjoyer of the Magic the Gathering art, especially the art from Zendikar Rising all the way up until now, that includes any of the set booster boxes such as Modern Horizons 2 and oh gosh, what else came with Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, right? Those all had art series cards in them too. And you can also find all these art series cards online. I believe as of right now, the most expensive signed art card from the entirety of the art series over the several years that they've been doing art series now is Dritz Duwarden as of November of 2022. He is $20. That is the most expensive. So out of 81 cards, I mean, you're probably spending a good amount. It all just depends on what set. I looked at the entirety of Kaldheim, which came directly after Zendikar Rising, and the entirety of Kaldheim in gold stamped is only worth $50, whereas Zendikar Rising is worth $170, and Adventures in the Forgotten Realms is worth a decent amount more. I also believe that Strixhaven has a decent amount of them because Strixhaven had a bunch of special art in the Mystical Archives that was printed full art in an art series card. I don't think any of the Japanese cards got printed in the art series, but I could be wrong. Well, I found the answer to my question. They did not print the Japanese versions of the Mystical Archive cards, but I did come to a very, very interesting wall in my research, and the fact that a lot of these gold stamped signature cards are not on the market. I looked at Lightning Bolt, which was the highest priced Strixhaven Mystical Archive art series card that is in the set. There are only 2 that are listed, and both of them are in Japanese. Now, I don't know whether or not the art is Japanese. I did not see anything that specifically said that the art was Japanese, but it also did not say that there was an English version. But again, these cards are not playable things. So getting the Japanese version, I'm sure, is not any different. I'm sure just the name on the back of the card is the name in Japanese as opposed to the name in English. But there's not a lot of them out there, which is kind of mind-blowing to me because I figured these would have been everywhere. I mean, there's so many of these that pop up all the time, and so many of them were pulled, and I guess I never realized what a sheer gold mine this is almost, depending on the card, But overall, right, again, it's still a very, very early time to check this. I mean, like 2020 was right around the time, like late 2020 almost, I think, was right around the time when Zendikar Rising was coming out, and that's still very new compared to a lot of the things that have been around in Magic's history for a long time, such as the inventions and the invocations and the expeditions and so on and so forth. So you very well could put your money elsewhere, but the gold stamp cards might be a nice little pickup for you if you do really like the art. For instance, $50 for the entirety of the Kaldheim art series in gold stamped. I think that is a fantastic pickup. I feel the same way about the Dracula cards from Crimson Vow, right? I think it's about $50, $60 to pick up every single one of those full art Dracula alternate arts for Crimson Vow, and at least those cards are playable. But it's like $60 for the entirety of the set. Every card that was printed with a Dracula form is essentially available for pretty cheap right now, because there were a lot of them, but overall, not terrible. But this has gone on for far too long. I just wanted to let all of you know about this, and I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are. A lot of people really do like the art cards for their own personal gain. I think a lot of people would rather use the not signed versions of them to make things like collages or to use as tokens or proxies or whatever. And then keep at least one set of the signed cards so that way you have a perfect collection. But I don't know what the market is for that. I think there's a market for everything, and I think maybe 10 years down the line, somebody may want those cards, but who knows who that will be? Maybe, maybe they'll go up in price considering they are such a rarity, and because it really does bring forward the art and make sure the art is appreciated as well as the artist. And hopefully everybody can find some kind of light in regards to the art of Magic the Gathering. I know I've enjoyed a lot of it. I still enjoy it to this day. The Brothers War's got some fantastic art. Like I said, Dominaria United has done really well too. And I hope to continue to see some really, really awesome art as well as some really awesome art series cards in the future. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Feel free to go to TCGPlayer.com and check out the art series cards for yourself. Maybe there is an art of a favorite card of yours that is there that you might want to pick up. You never know. Maybe you want to pick up all 81 of every card from the sets. Because even still, that's a decent amount of money to spend, but at least you'll know you'll have a complete collection. But while you're down there, leaving that comment, let me know what you guys think about the art series. Make sure to like the video, and again, subscribe to the channel. We are climbing the ranks up to 1,000, and if we can hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I don't know, I'll give away a box or something, probably. That sounds about right. That sounds like something I should do for a celebration like that. So you let me know in the comments again what you guys would like to see, and I can't wait to continue making content for you from this day until the end of my days. So thank you all again so much, and I will see you all very soon. Nerd out.